What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we are going to be talking about Markelle Fultz and, more importantly, the trade rumors that are going around him. Now, as we all know, the 76ers have now stated the fact that their what was just last year #1 overall pick is no longer a part of their future, which is very rare to ever hear of when it comes to a #1 overall pick, just showing the difference of what happens as far as in this new NBA with the tradings and getting of free agencies of what many teams will be doing. As we all know, Jimmy Butler, the big news of him going to the 76ers, is the main reason for this trade. Once I noticed the fact that he ended up going to that team, it made me 100% realize that they're done with Markelle Fultz, period. We know the fact that they tried to enforce him into the lineup. I told you I didn't really like that idea of just going out there and saying, hey, let's put him out there, play some minutes, when in reality he needed to slowly make time, earn his way into the NBA, as much as what we know his struggles have been with his shoulder. Now he's back with another problem with his shoulder, going to be looked at by a specialist again, and may even have to have further work being done on that shoulder, which could obviously hinder his trade value even more. But as we all do know, it's just been such a strange story to hear a player, #1 overall pick, going from just this huge situation to just this. Normally we either get that they're complete bust or that an injury that 100% prevents them from playing. But in a situation such as this, it seems to be more of a mental problem more than a physical one, even though it's not quite clear whether it is physical as well. As far as these trade rumor, this is very much a very strange situation. I'm not really sure what team would really want to be interested in this trade. Obviously, I think the fact that there's a small number of teams that I can think of that would want him, and in this situation, I wouldn't know what they would want to trade in return, as I don't believe the fact that many people are going to give good trade value, especially with the news that they no longer think of him as a part of their future. So obviously teams can use that as leverage, as they don't really have high hopes for him. So therefore, the fact that they're not going to expect to get much in return for it. So very much this really does look like a waste of a #1 overall pick, especially after trading up from having #3, who ended up being Jason Tatum, for the Boston Celtics. Now, as many people would expect, I was very stunned that they ended up trading up to get a point guard, especially with that situation, as we knew the fact that Ben Simmons was going to be playing the point guard position for the 76ers. So in many reasons, why would you draft another point guard? I understand the fact Markelle Fultz was supposed to be a scoring point guard type guard rather than whatever happened, and of course the shoulder injury happened and it ended up being a huge effect on what he's been playing as far as his first 2 seasons in the NBA. With that, obviously he does have some ability. He was the youngest player to record a triple-double and recorded it coming off of the bench in the final game of the NBA season last year. So we do know the fact he has the ability to do multiple things, and really the true question is if he can gain confidence in that shooting to be able to go out there. I don't believe the fact that there were lies about him having a better shot as far as coming from the Philadelphia 76ers, as they had expressed the fact that they thought he was getting better at his shot and that his confidence was really growing. But really, I just think they came up with that story just to increase his confidence, because it just seems like it's very much a mental problem, because we've definitely seen where times he can make it in the open gym, but when it comes to in-game, he's just not as consistent in being able to maneuver good enough in the in-games with his shot, as we just see it in multiple times in his shooting form, the way he shoots from the free throw line even, where it's just very strange to see this from him. The teams that I would really have to consider would probably be a team like the Orlando Magic, somebody who doesn't have a point guard, with DJ Augustine being their starting point guard. Obviously an older point guard that really doesn't have too much as far as an upside of what they're looking for in the future. And with them really not having a basis of a point guard right now, as I mentioned before, I think the fact that I don't think that they would give up too much for it. I think small, tiny pieces, something that the Philadelphia 76ers I think are going to be okay with. I don't think the fact that they just want him on the team by any means. I think the fact they want to just get rid of him, move on from that situation, and start over. But guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on this trade rumor, and what team do you think the fact that Markelle Fultz is going to go to? Do you think the fact it's going to be to a team like an Orlando? Do you think it's going to be a random team that just tries him on for experience, somebody like a San Antonio Spurs, somebody that usually can develop and work in players? Or do you think the fact that this is going to be a struggle for them to try to trade him and nobody's going to be interested? Tell me what your guys' thoughts are, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe to be part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.